Good evening, everybody. I'm Kath Lloyd from Make the Change, and it's Wednesday evening, and it's Let's Talk. And tonight it is procrastination. How do I stop it? Well, procrastination is delay tactics or delaying following through with actions or tasks that we need to do or want to do. And, we all suffer from it from time to time. And yes, I'll hold my hand up, I'm a sufferer at the moment. And my procrastination is first thing in the morning. And you would think that with the sunny, bright mornings, I'd be jumping up out of bed and desperate to get going with my day, walking my dogs. But in actual fact, what's happening for me is that, I wake up, and the curtains are open because I don't shut the curtains at night, and the blue sky is there, the windows are open, and so the fresh air's coming in. I can hear the birds singing, and I'm really snug and comfortable in bed. And that is basically where my procrastination is at the moment. But it's, procrastination is a force that stops us from following through with something. And unfortunately, it becomes a habit. And research suggests that 40% of our behaviour is habit driven. Now, some of that habit is going to be connected with our job or college. If we've got children, pets, elderly parents, where roles and responsibilities are there with us, and we have to follow through with those. But 40%, that's quite a staggering amount, really, isn't it, when you think about it, that is nearly half of your day governed by habits. So why does it affect the brain? Well, the brain has a tendency for, we want rewards, don't we, for what we're doing. And, when we think about it, we've got present moment rewards, or, looking at the present self, and then we've got the future self, which gives us future rewards. And, we can get to, we know what, so for the future, we know where we want to be going in life, we know what we want to be doing, we know what we want to achieve, but those rewards are way in the future, aren't they? And so what's happening when we go into procrastination? It's geared up for our present self for immediate rewards. So even though I know that I like going out and walking my dogs and being in the fresh air, the present reward actually is I'm cozy in my bed, I can see the sky, I can see the clouds wafting along, I can hear the birds, and I can hear the day outside. And so that is, that is the drive for reward, isn't it? And it's trying to balance these things out. And, when we talk about our, present self and our future self, we're talking about things like our diet, our fitness, our studying, perhaps looking for a job, where we've got to put our mind to a task to achieve something in the long term. But, when you have to change things, it's about creating the new habits, isn't it? And this, I've talked a lot before about creating new habits, and it's about creating the right reward system or the right punishment system, whichever way your personality drives you, whether you are driven to get rewards or you're driven away from a punishment. Okay, we're all different on that, to be able to use our present self to be able to help us for our future self. Okay, so how many times, for example, have you procrastinated? You've put something off, you said, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And then when you actually get around to doing it, or you're forced to do something about it because of a deadline, or somebody is making you accountable for something, how many times Have, you found that actually doing the task wasn't as bad as you'd feared, or it didn't take as long as you thought it was going to, and actually it was quite easy, and the procrastination and the fear of starting the task was actually worse than doing the task. And so that's the key to the procrastination, isn't it? It isn't the doing, it's the starting. And so this is why, changing the reward or the punishment system is important to help get you through that procrastination. All right. So, for example, how many times have you put off going to the gym, I'm tired, or it's late, or the weather's bad, or I'm not feeling very well, and then you actually go to the gym, you do your workout, and you think, I feel so much better for doing that. Why didn't I do that last week? And I would have felt great. Okay, but, we do it. We go through these thoughts, and, we're just being human at the end of the day, aren't we? But it's about helping yourself to motivate yourself so that you can keep a good momentum going to get the future rewards for yourself and the future gains. Okay, so how do you start doing it? Well, one of the first things is going back to the rewards, is making your rewards easier to get. All right. So, for example, if you're struggling with going to the gym, okay, it's about what you're going to do to celebrate you going to the gym. So it could be that it would be better for you if you found a gym buddy to go with. Okay, because then you're going to get to the gym, because you're not just letting yourself down. If you don't go, you'll be letting somebody else down. All right, and that's always not a very nice thing to do, because most people would keep you reminding you that and make you feel guilty about it. Okay, so it's about the consequences, making the consequences present. Okay, not too far into the future. The other thing is as well, it's about designing your habits and your actions so that you will help. This is connecting to the others, so that you will continue the commitment. Okay, so perhaps it might be, say if you're a cinema going, well, if I go to the gym 3 days a week or 3 sessions a week, then on one of my days off I can go to the cinema, or I can go for a drink with my friends, or perhaps go for a sauna afterwards, something like that. So you've got a nice reward that will help drive you through that procrastination. Okay, so it's also about making the task more achievable. All right, so any goal setting that you do or action planning that you do, if you are, say, wanting to lose weight, and you say that, okay, I want to lose 3 stone, all right, that is quite a big jump. So it's about breaking it down. It's like, I've said before, it's about taking the baby steps. All right, so it's a little bit at a time, and then reward yourself for doing that. Okay, and then you've got more celebrations. You can see the progress and the development a lot more easily, because you're not aiming for something great, you're aiming for something smaller, which is going to be more easily achievable. But it also means you can see the progress, and it's not such a daunting prospect. Okay. Then it's sort of, how do you maintain keeping going? All right. And this can be a difficult one, because it's all right saying, I'm going to take this action, I'm going to, keep working to those goals, but it's about the consistency. All right. And it's sort of planning, trying to find your way of making that consistency. All right. So this is, you can take this in different ways. It depends whether you like to plan ahead, or whether you like to stay in the present for the whole day. So you could do this either the night before or first thing in the morning. All right. Some people say it's better to do it the night before, because especially say for me, I'm struggling to get out of bed in the morning because I'm so cozy and I'm listening to the birds, then really I need to plan this the night before. All right. So it all depends on, what your procrastination is based around. Okay. So the suggestions are to write yourself a list of tasks that you want to accomplish through the day. But what they say is no more than 6 items on that list, because you've got other things to do in your day, and that are just as important. And if your list is too big, then you'll never achieve all of that, and you will feel demoralized and feel like giving up, and that's not going to do your procrastination any good. So you write your list of 6 items, and then you put them in order of importance, okay, and do the one that's the most important first, okay, in your list. And then on that day you go through the list and you tick it off as you go. All right, so you can see that they're done. And I do this in my diary, and so it might be about phoning somebody, or emailing, or doing newsletters, anything like that. And so in my diary then I'll tick it, and if I haven't been able to speak to that person, I will have put voicemail or email or text or Facebook Messenger, so that I know I've done it, and then I can follow through for a reply if I need to. So it's about, that's me about keeping track of what's going on. Now, if you don't manage to do everything on your list for whatever reason, perhaps the other things on your list took longer than you thought, or you had interruptions from people, then those things go onto your next list. Okay? And you do them the next day. But if they're not done that first day, are they the most important thing for the next day? And so this is about establishing what's important and what's urgent. It's like if an emergency comes up. All right, sometimes we can't always drop everything, but it depends on how important and how urgent that emergency is. And this is where you have to weigh up the balance, isn't it? Is it important and urgent? Is it unimportant but urgent? Is it important but not urgent? Or is it not important and not urgent? Okay, so use that grid to try and fit in where that emergency is, or where those tasks come in terms of the ranking order of what you do them. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. And also to remember that, it's a modern day concept that we should be able to multitask, but actually multitasking slows us down. I know that, there's the big, thought that men can't multitask, and it's only women that can multitask. Well, really, that isn't true. Men can multitask as well, but it means that if you're multitasking, you're not dealing with, you're not putting the whole of your concentration onto that one thing. And of course, there are times when we have to multitask, when, especially when you've got little children, that you're trying to cook the tea and they want some help with the homework, or you're trying to cook the tea and your mum's on the phone. There are going to be times like that, but when it comes to your work or you're studying or whatever it is that you're trying to do, try and keep to single tasking rather than multitasking, and then you'll be able to put all your concentration onto that, and you're not divided up and slimming down or washing down your concentration levels. Okay, and so you will be able to finish that task more easily, because I read somewhere that every time if we're doing a task, every time we're interrupted by a text message or a phone call or a Facebook post, it takes about 20 minutes to get that level of concentration back. All right, so that just goes to show that if you're interrupted every, say, 5 minutes by something, you're never putting your full concentration on that task at hand. And then one of the other things is to remind you, have visual clues. So have your list up somewhere so that you will see it first thing in the morning, and put it where it is best for you. Display the progress of your behaviour, so that you can see how well that you're doing and celebrating the fact that you're doing it. And all of that will help build up the momentum and the consistency to keep you going. Okay, so for me, what day was it? Where are we today? Wednesday. Yes, last night I put my alarm clock on a little bit earlier so that I could still have my little lie in bed, watching the sky, watching the clouds, listening to the birds, and have my cosy time. But I still slept in longer than what I intentionally did. So this is something for me to really work on tonight, about how to get up out of bed at a nice time, so I can have a really good walk with my dogs, without too many interruptions while I'm out there. So I've got some homework to do tonight as well. So I hope that helps with your procrastination problems. I'd love to know how you're getting on with them. So do keep me informed. And also don't forget that I've got my top 10 tips for keeping yourself sane, which is a free mini e-course. So that will bounce into your mailbox. Okay. And you can subscribe to that through my website, www.kathloyd.co.uk. And take the opportunity to get a little bit of free advice, some free tips to help you get through the tough times a little bit more easily. So next week, which is the 30th of May, we are going to be looking at, how do I leave behind what I don't want? Okay, so how do I leave behind what I don't want? So it could be related to the procrastination, but it's all of these Let's Talks that are coming up are, follow-ons from all of the other, Let's Talks that we've been doing over the last few weeks. And between now and next week, have a good week, enjoy the warm weather, protect yourself from the sun, and get to grips with that procrastination and create some great new habits for progressing and getting your future rewards. Have a lovely evening. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.